Here with Suyeon. Is it Shim or is it Shin?
Shim.
Shim. Good evening. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Do you know my name though?
Punita.
Last name?
Oh.
You're forgiven. You're forgiven. It's all right. Panita
I will have
Bajaj.
to follow you on Instagram.
That's right. Yeah. Suyeon Shim. 맞죠?
Yes.
Okay. What's nice to have you. Did you have a great weekend and great week?
I did. How about you? The weather's been really nice and cool.
Yes.
Cold, but
맞아요.
cool.
Yes. And today 약간 뿌여
It's sort of humid today. I don't know. It's really weird today.
Seemed like it.
공기도 안 좋고.
맞아요. 미세먼지가 최악이었던 것 같은데요.
Yes. And I had to walk my dog twice in that weather.
Oh no. What did you wear?
A mask.
Yes. 필수 이템. 마스크인데요. Let's review of the things that we talked about last week. So I wonder if you guys kept up with our care tips for clothing.
Yes.
We talked about how to wash clothes, and even if you don't wash them, you can put them out on the veranda, the balcony.
Air them out
Right.
or shake it.
What else did we talk about?
We talked about 보풀 제거, which is
맞아요.
very important because we're wearing a lot of sweaters. And most sweaters do get those little
Lint balls?
Lint balls. And I mean, 보풀 sounds really cute, but it's not really nice on your clothes.
Right,
So you have to get rid of them.
right. And 좀약.
Yes.
Mothballs. They are a huge hit in our house. We put mothballs, 좀약, in every storage box.
Well, they are the most effective,
Right.
probably. Yes.
Yeah. And the dehumidifier, silicone gels or anything like that.
Right.
Especially if you're storing away books and yearbooks. But
If they only would smell better.
right.
Right.
Somebody's got to come up with a better solution to that.
I think they have like lavender scented and stuff, but just makes it smell more like the tomyak with lavender.
Yeah, it's a
and
mix.
fake lavender,
It's
which
like-
makes it better and worse.
Right.
Never
Going to the
better.
bathroom, you do number 2 and you come out and you just spray.
Spray.
It just smells like your bathroom.
Yes.
And the
yes.
spray.
Oh.
It's like rose flavored bathroom, which is never a good thing. But
Can't get any worse,
Right.
actually.
well, away from bathroom talk, and we are here with Fashion Speak, and we've got a new topic, and it's definitely eco-friendly.
Yes. It's time appropriate. Everybody's sort of more concerned because of COVID and just the weird weather that every country's been having.
Sure.
We're all wondering what we can do for the earth.
Okay, so how would we say eco-friendly? I mean, let's first talk about the topic.
Yes.
It is 지구를 위한 패션.
지구를 위한 패션. 지구 is earth. And it's 지구를 위한 패션 is of course fashion for earth, but it's more it means like a earth friendly fashion.
Okay, yeah. So eco-friendly fashion is kind of opposite to fast fashion.
Completely. Right.
Yes. So we know fast fashion as, these brands that come out with $10 shirts and you wear them, you wash them, you wear them, you wash them twice, and then you throw it away.
Right, because you just can't wear them anymore.
Right. And they wear and tear very easily. So
And
now
also it sort of feeds that need that you have to have something new every week.
Right.
And you see something new in the stores or online, and you just feel like you have to buy it.
Right.
And just you're consuming. That's what happens. What happens is we have a closet full of clothes. We just have nothing to wear.
That's why I'm late every day.
Which happens. Absolutely.
So 오늘은 지구를 위한 패션의 주제인데요. So first up, let's talk about eco-friendly fashion as 친환경 패션.
Yes, a couple of main terms. First is 친환경 패션, and that's eco-friendly fashion. It means it's more concerned with what it does to the earth.
Okay.
So things like maybe organic cotton or just something less chemically,
Sure.
things like that.
You can actually do the sniff test as well. Apparently, if things are made from polyester, it'll smell like plastic.
That's possible.
Is it not? Your was very not sure about that, Panita. Got a fact check on your information there. I've heard it from a friend.
Because it's made from petroleum.
Right.
So it must have that smell.
Gasoline
but it may
smell.
not be from the fiber itself. It maybe from like everything that goes on top of it.
Okay.
Like the dye and the bleach and everything that goes on top. That it goes through before we actually get it on our bodies.
Right. The whole production
The
process.
whole production process. Because, so, you know, when you get something like a new item of clothing and you take off the packing and you get a whiff of
The plastic that it was wrapped in.
plastic and something really like
조미약인가요?
좀약인가요?
Maybe. Could be.
It may be a combination,
Yeah.
right?
Of all
but
of
it just
these
doesn't
things.
smell very nice, so you have to air it out. And with eco-friendly fashion, you just have less of that other stuff. So it's, you know, kinder to the earth.
Right. So actually, if we break down 친환경, 환경 is environment.
Right.
And 친, we can say like 친하다. Like, oh, 저 친구랑 친해요. I'm close to that friend.
Yes.
So
you're
it has that root.
friendly and you're kind to your friends.
친환경 패션. Interesting. Moving on to something a bit similar,
Yes.
but also different.
A little different. 윤리적 패션.
윤리적 fashion. What does that mean?
That's ethical fashion.
Oh.
And this is more concentrating on the process of clothing,
The
how
brand,
it's made. Like for instance, like fair trade or fair wages, or how the factory, like how the factory conditions, like how the workers are treated, things like that.
Yeah.
So that's more 윤리적 fashion.
윤리적 fashion, talking about what the brand represents and how they, I guess, produce their clothes.
Yes, like the factories and maybe their company workers. The
So
whole process.
how would could we use 윤리 in other sentences?
It's sort of like morals.
Okay.
Sort of like ethics. In another sentence,
직업 윤리?
직업윤리, that's good. Or
So
윤리적
workplace ethics?
행동, just ethical behavior.
Okay. All right. 윤리적 fashion도 배웠고요. We also have this newly termed phrase or newly
Yeah,
coined.
this is the more common term these days because it actually combines 친환경 and 윤리적. It's 지속 가능한 패션.
Okay.
Sustainable fashion, and that's really being concerned with the whole picture, like how the process affects the earth and the people and how the fabric's made and how the people who are making the clothes are treated, the whole process.
Right. So sustainable, we can roughly translate it to 지속, because 지속 is like the term of lasting. Is it lasting?
Right.
So even with these $10 shirts that we get, 지속이 길다고 하나요? Or 지속이 있다고 하나요? How do we measure
거의
지속?
안 되죠, because after three washes, it's just really not how it looked from the beginning.
Right.
So that's why fast fashion is bad, because they just make it really fast, and like the basically the way it's made isn't really very, very time consuming. They make it fast, they bring it fast, and they make the fabric fast, the whole thing. So it's just not as durable.
Right.
Basically.
So 지속을 높여주는. Then if you do it the opposite way, if it's 지속 it's not 내려. Lessen the 지속 or
지속을 줄인다?
줄인다. I see.
Lessen.
I see. 지속 가능한 패션, sustainable fashion. So another key word here is all about reusing, styling also.
Right.
It could be fashion. It could be hardware. It could be so many different things.
So many different things. The whole 친환경, 윤리적, 지속 가능, that's more like for brands, what the people who make the clothes have to be concerned about, and what we have to look for from brands. But then we already have so many clothes. So what can we do with those to help the earth? And that's the reusing recycling or upcycling.
Upcycling. Is there a Korean word for upcycling?
Unfortunately, no.
그냥 upcycle라고 하죠.
Upcycle.
Yeah, it's a relatively new term also for English as well.
Yes.
And you can upcycle so many different things. And as you said, because we have so many different types
We
of
have
clothes.
so many things, and we throw away so many things
Right.
anyway. So it's a way. It's a new way of reusing things. Reusing is literally reusing the same thing over and over and over again.
And would you-
재사용.
Right. Would you say upcycling is 윤리적?
Upcycling is definitely 윤리적.
Yes, it's ethical, people. That's right. So you mentioned 재사용, reusing.
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays, you can actually find a lot of thrift stores in Korea.
Yes.
Super fun to shop at.
Finally.
Yeah.
You couldn't really find those before.
Right.
And
they're
they call
more
it
popular.
vintage shopping. Right?
Vintage. Vintage shopping is so much fun to do here in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, you just recycle your clothes. You can also give your clothes to them.
Yes.
And
You
then
can sell them. You can buy really cheap, old, worn, and they're now called once loved clothes. Which is, I really like that.
yeah. How would you say that in Korean? 한 번 사랑했던.
한번 사랑받았던.
yeah. 그런 옷들. That's right. Reusing 재사용.
재사용.
So even with 재, that means
Right.
to do something again.
Again.
사용 meaning to use. All right. Buying old clothes or swapping with friends and wearing something longer. You also wrote about washing and reusing a plastic bottle.
Right. That's basically the really basic reusing. Because we can drink it once and then throw it away, but you can use it again, I don't know, to water your plants or
Right.
just to something with around the house.
This is kind of the opposite as 일회용.
Right.
So 일회용 or maybe it goes along the lines with 일회용 masks. There are one-time use. 근데 재사용할 수 있죠? At least 이틀 or 3일 그렇게 사용할 수 있죠.
그쵸, 그쵸.
Aha. All right, so we're moving on from reusing to recycling, which is such a huge job here in Korea. Recycling to separate trash and things like that. But we're not talking about trash.
Recycling clothing is basically, well, recycling, the whole term means 재활용 or 재생. 재생 is to give new life.
Right. 재
So-
also re and
Right.
생명.
So it's actually like breaking down something to its core material and then forming it to create something new. So like, I don't know, recycling plastic bottles to make fabric or shredding up clothes to make some kind of a carpeting for construction. So it doesn't really get the same use, but it's a completely different use.
Right.
Usually.
Right. And this is also very much towards 친환경. You recycle for
Yes.
an eco-friendly environment.
Because it's just better to throw out less.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So let's put these all together and let's try to figure out ways how we can come up with new ideas when it comes to upcycling. What have you got?
Well, upcycling is basically recycling, but up. So it's something better.
Right.
And usually it adds design or creativity. And usually it's not like breaking it all down to the core material, but it is sort of taking it apart. So you can upcycle two T-shirts into one T-shirt, like adding the sleeves of this one to this one, making a completely new design.
Right.
So you'd actually like to wear it. Because sometimes like a clothing is perfectly fine, but you don't want to wear it.
Right.
There are two different kinds, like 못 입는 옷 and 안 입는 옷.
맞아요. 두 개 pile of oats. There's always two piles of clothing. It's stuff that you want to throw away because you can't wear, and then stuff that you don't want to wear because it's out of style.
Right.
But
And we
it's
don't
still
always
new.
throw out the clothes because they're old or worn. It's usually because 안 입거나 못 입거나.
맞아요. Have you ever done these upcycling projects at home?
I've done some. I've made like combined a skirt and a t-shirt and made a dress.
Ooh.
Because I love dresses.
Yeah, that's so much fun. I remember in high school, we used to have these projects because we took a styling class or a fashion class. So we learned about sewing and we had projects to make pajamas and pillows as well by all these patterns and designs. And our final project was to make a dress out of other donated dresses.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So 고등학교 때 아주 재미있는 프로젝트였는데 17살에 이 드레스를 보고 어떻게 업사이클 할 수 있을지 다른 디자인으로 만들 수 있을지 그런 프로젝트였는데 너무 재밌었어요. But in that time, we didn't say upcycling.
Right. It's a new term.
Right. Leah May says, can hand-me-downs count as eco-friendly?
Oh, absolutely.
I usually buy clothes a size larger just so I can use it for longer. Yeah, that's definitely true. I grew up with this mentality because my mom would always, 입혀 me with size medium.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a size small, and she would always do medium and large, and she's like, you're going to grow into it. I'm like 28, and I'm like, I'm going to grow into it. Still buying size large.
Oh, yeah. I used to buy like size 6-year-old coats when my daughter was 3.
Right.
And then she wore it for 3 years, and then her sister wore it for 3
Yes.
years.
친환경이죠, 진짜. Hand-me-down. What is hand-me-downs in Korean?
Oh, wow.
뭐가 있죠? 뭐라고 할까요?
There is a term.
Is
I'm
there?
sure it's...
물려 입는.
물려입기.
물려받는.
물려받기, 물려입기.
Okay. 물려입기, 물려받는 옷. Okay, interesting. The Lost Angel says people throw out their clothes often. I only throw out my clothes when they don't fit me anymore. I guess it depends on how many, items of clothing you have.
Or how big your closet is.
Right. Do you shop a lot?
These days, actually, I don't. Because... Number one, we actually really don't go out much anymore.
Right. And then for me, actually, nowadays, I'm trying to find some winter boots. 근데 없더라고요. I hate it. Like, 돈 쓸 거 있는데.
You can't find
I can't
one
find
you like.
it. It's the worst. 잼잼나나님 says, giving it to people who needs it more is a better option than throwing it away.
Definitely.
맞아요. 요즘에도 there is a thing called Beautiful Market. And you can go and it ranges from clothes, bags, shoes, but also like books and
toys.
Right.
Yes.
There's so many different ways that you can throw away without throwing it away.
Right.
Adrian,
in every neighborhood, actually.
Right, yeah. Adrian Linga says, we need to adopt the KR setting, the Korean setting, where they have storage to put clothes there in that mailbox-shaped mail.
You know, in the 재활용 centers in every neighborhood, there's that huge mailbox-shaped box where you put in old clothes and things. And those aren't getting thrown away. Those are usually, I'm sure someone sorts them out, but they're usually sent to people in need.
Definitely. And you should actually wash them before you put it in there as well.
Yes.
That's
a good point.
That's how ticks and fleas spread very easily. I remember I went to...
I never thought about that.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
I went to like a training school for like 6 months, and we were living abroad. And for people who were coming from abroad, needed to get like blankets and stuff like that. So they had this storage room of things that you can get. But what they did was you can put it back, but you have to wash it and put it back. And when they do, they actually have this sterilizing shop or room, and they leave it there and they bake it out for 24 hours. So it kills the fleas, kills the ticks or things like that.
Yes.
Before they give it out as well. So that is a huge tip for anybody who is thinking to give it out, give it away.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So we are talking about upcycling. Let's just rewind and talk about 친환경 fashion, eco-friendly fashion. 윤리적 fashion is ethical fashion.
Yes.
Sustainable all is about 지속 가능한 fashion. And we are back to upcycling and more ideas. So give it away. What are some of your tips of creating new bags, or I don't know. What do we do? How can
I've seen so many fun things. I've seen like jackets and coats made of old quilts.
Okay, yeah,
Because
yeah.
especially in the States, everybody has like probably a closet full of old quilts that they got from grandma or whatever. They're actually really beautiful. And there's a brand that makes bags out of old truck tarp, and it's actually very famous.
Right.
And there's jewelry made from broken glass, bags made from seat belts, not just from clothing. You can do industrial materials and make them into fashion accessories.
I don't know if this counts, but I was on a hike and I saw this huge stick because it was right by a mountain. And I thought, ooh, that's a pretty stick. And I took it home and I bought some, what do you call it? Eucalyptus. And I had leftover dried flowers and ornaments. So we tied it on and we made a garland. And because it's Christmas time, we hung our ornaments and it became like this festive foyer decoration that we put. So I think I did my part. I included the nature, 친환경 데코를 했어요.
Yes, you used up a dead branch and gave it new
life. There you go.
Definitely.
Thank you very much for coming in and talking to us all about 지구를 위한 fashion.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you again next week.